64 players, huge open maps, there's jets, there's everything. And to me, maybe I should say, I started at DICE because I love Battlefield games. So to me, this is what Battlefield is all about. It's the all-out war experience. And what makes this tick is, and maybe I should take a step back. The reason we're here today is because I want to talk about a couple of things. First of all, I want to show you a couple of cool trailers. We have a world exclusive for you of the North American TV commercials, actually, which I'm going to show absolutely at the end, so don't fall asleep. I'm also going to run some live PlayStation 3 demo, which is playable on the floor, so if you had time to sneak by that before you came up here, you might have seen it. Otherwise, I think it will be a new for you. And then thirdly, I want to talk a bit about what makes the game run in the background. And that is where Frostbite 2 comes in. I know we've been talking about this over and over again, and every interview it's like, I get it's like Frostbite 2, yada yada yada, you know, I'm a parrot just repeating it. But that is because this is the heartbeat of what Battlefield 3 is about. For us, it's not just about building a game, it's about trying to innovate and push the boundaries of what we can do and challenge ourselves to make a bigger and better game. And that's what we needed Frostbite 2. And going back to what I said in the beginning, we needed Frostbite 2 if we were going to build a sequel to Battlefield 2, because there was so much invested in it. We were so, you know, it was so personal to us. So there's 5 things about Frostbite 2 that I keep bringing up that are very important for us. And the first one of those are visuals. I get the question quite a lot, is this actually from the game? Yes, it is. It is from in-game. It's rendered very high res, of course, so it's, you know, in the game, maybe on some super duper computer you may be able to get this rendered out. But it is from the game. And for good and for bad, at DICE we are pretty obsessed about visuals. We want everything to look very, very good when you play the game. Everything from the soldiers, to the vehicles, to the environment, to the particles, everything starts to come together. And when I say that it's just not only for good, but also for bad, it means that we have quite a bit of feature creep when it comes to what we're building our games. But when we do manage to get it together, I think the result is very, very good. However, visuals is just one key component. Over the years and years we have done Battlefield, it's started to become very obvious to us that, you know, just a rendered frame, we actually have a term for it now. We call it like postcard artists, you know, people that just look at the screenshot and want that to be as good as possible. That's not what we're building. We're building entertainment, right? So the idea is that we have to look at the full experience. And when we came out of Battlefield Bad Company 2, when we took a look at that game, we were planning out what we're going to do for Battlefield 3, which, you know, already had been in the works for some time. One of the things that really popped out as we were not happy with was animation. And animation is one of those things that completes the visual experience together with sound and everything else. No, not the visual experience, but complete the whole experience together with sound, etc. And not being happy with the animation in our last game, we said, okay, let's see what's in best in class. What do others do out there? What is the best animation engine out there? And we were very happily surprised, perhaps I have to say, by finding that the best animations in computer games today, in our sense, came from the EA Sports games. You know, the FIFAs, the NHLs, and these kind of games. I've been working on this for so long. Now you're not in first-person mode, you're not zoomed in so closely, but the blending in between what they are doing there is absolutely amazing. So we started working with the sports team, we worked with a group within EA that's called EA Tech, which has also helped building this, and we implemented this animation engine into Frostbite 2. And so we are now the first FPS that ever to be using this kind of animation technology, and for us it's a big, big difference of how the how the soldiers actually move, how they go into cover, how they look when they are suppressed, and all the way up until how does it look when they take one to the head. And it's really good. Animations is something that really brings you into the, what do you call it, uncanny valley? Do you know that expression? Maybe it's an American thing. Anyhow, if the animations are wrong, the human brain picks it up immediately as something and it breaks the illusion. And that's what we've been trying to rub out now with this part of the engine. Thirdly, we have the destruction, or tactical destruction that I like to call it. We started building this into the first version of Frostbite 1, which is used in Bad Company 1. And we're still very proud of this feature because we believe it sets us apart from quite a lot of others out there. Destruction is not in the Battlefield games just because of eye candy. It's in there because we want to change how you play the game. We want to make sure that the sniper camping up in a building is not feeling entirely sure because he can hide behind a completely static wall or something like that. The engineer can actually use the RPG to take out the wall and then people can take him out, as an example. For me, this was a big change when we managed to get this feature into Bad Company 1, even though it's a bit rough around the edges. Now, we took another step with Battlefield Bad Company 2, where you could raise houses all together, and now with Battlefield 3, where we have more urban environments as well, where we have what we call facade destruction, where you can tear down the facades of the buildings in Paris, for instance, which you can see in the open beta, which is playable here on the floor today. So tactical destruction, very important, not only for eye candy. And then fourth, I mentioned sound before as one of the key components that actually complete the experience. And I'm going to be a bit cocky here and say that I actually believe that quite a lot of game developers overlook this area a bit, I have to say. I play games every now and then which impress the hell out of me when I see the visuals and the game experience and everything, but when you actually fire a gun, it's like, ping, ping, you know, that's... I don't know how many people here, and maybe I should be happy about that, and not that many people here actually fire guns. It's another thing when I do presentations in the US. But if you've ever been to a firing range and fired a gun, you know that it's one of the most, what's the word, visceral experience that you can have. It's so freaking loud. Almost said a bad word there. And you know, the recoil and everything, and that's what we've been trying to depict in the game, and that's why we sometimes call this a very physical experience, that it's a physical experience that we want to try to get into the game. And the audio plays a very, very vital part here. I would actually dare to say that when you play the game through your 5.1 or your headphones or whatever, I would say that audio is probably something like 50–60% of the experience if you try to break it down. Maybe that's a bit, no, I think it's fine. I think it's about 50–60%. So audio is very important. Our audio team has been striving to innovate inside with the help of Frostbite 2 for quite some time. We've been sending them around the world to military exercises, to shooting ranges, to record the base data that we need in the game, and then utilizes that to actually build the actual data, the sound files that we have in the game. And then Frostbite 2, the sound part that can take care of everything from different reverbs to what kind of areas are in, what kind of reflection filters should we put onto the sounds in real time. Examples of that is if you fire a gun in a forest area like this, it sounds, you know, in a certain way, the reflections coming off the forest. If you fire the same gun inside an urban environment, it's going to sound more like the bank heist scene in Heat, for instance, which is a very famous one, where you actually can hear the gunshot just blasting off the huge concrete and glass walls. The sound is of utmost importance to us. And then finally, scale. You'll remember this, recognize the screenshot from the Caspian Door, the multiplayer map. Jets are back. We need huge open environments. We have 64 players on PC again. Scale is super important, and it always has been in Battlefield. The cool thing about Frostbite 2 now is that we can do the vast open environments where we can have the jets flying around. But we can also do the other side of the spectrum. We can do tight, urban, gritty, more infantry-focused maps, which will definitely make a lot of people happy that prefer that way of playing. We'll actually ship the game with an infantry-only checkbox as well, so if you want to play it without vehicles, you can do that as well. That's 5 key areas of Frostbite 2, which we believe are very important. We believe that these really enables us to focus on the key pillars of what Battlefield is about. We also believe that this in many ways sets us apart from the competition out there. So in order to reinforce that, I want to roll the trailer from that shows these 5 pillars.